Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kazuri Alameen. Quick nugget of wisdom. And I want to preface this by verbalizing that I have been a mental health professional for 45 consecutive years. 45 consecutive years. Your mental health is taking care of your psychological and your emotional well-being. It's very, very important. But my point is right now, please hear me. It's important that we as a humanity begin to, and I've seen this over the years, a lot of times we grow and go in life highly respected, but we don't have a clear vision of self-love. Self-love. Another psychodynamic for self-love is self-appreciation. Based on how you deal with yourself, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual well-being. Self-appreciation. Can you imagine? Travel with me for a moment mentally. Can you imagine being with yourself and we are with ourselves all the time? That's evidence-based. That's not a fact. It's evidence-based. Imagine being with yourself and you don't have authentic self-love. You don't appreciate yourself. That's a very fragile place to be, because if you don't appreciate yourself, you're not going to be able to appreciate anybody else from an authentic perspective. That's real talk. I want you to be mindful. There's a lot of great things out here all across the four corners of the earth, north, south, east, and west. I'm also aware that controversy, confusion, gossip sells for people who are in that mindset. But life also teaches me that you got great people all across the four corners doing good things in there with themselves, doing good things in their households, doing good things in their community, doing good things in their countries, their cities, their states, happening every day. And a lot of times it doesn't get depressed because that doesn't sell as much as some foolishness. So what's your point this morning, Ms. Kazuri? I want to encourage you as parents to continue to strive to manifest self-love to yourself so you can pass it on to your children. It's so very, very vital. I've worked with a lot of parents. I've worked with a lot of children over the years. Yes, there were some other issues going on, but one of the part of the substance is they didn't have any self-love. So as a result of not having self-love, they injured themselves a lot. I injured other people because they didn't love themselves. So I want to encourage you, parents, the ones who are doing it, congrats. The ones who are not doing it, I need to do it more. Please do that. Because when you're a child, or even yourself, you got great self-appreciation that's going to manifest itself to others. It's so very, very important. There's a lot of killing going on, stealing going on, hurting people going on. In regards to what they call it, that person, those people don't have self-love. A lot of lying going on. In regards to what they call it, that person, those people don't have self-love. And like I said, imagine being with yourself all the time. Even if you're married, and I respect the institution of marriage very highly, you are not with your spouse all the time. Your spouse is not with you all the time. Once again, it's not a belief. It's evidence-based. So it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that we teach and manifest self-love. We want to start inside first, not outside. Some of us have gotten so hyper-religious that we look at up in the sky, looking in the buildings that we get excited about, looking in other people that we get excited about. It's an inside job. It's not in the sky. It's not in buildings. It's not in other people. Your self-love is the inside job. It's the inside job. That's why a lot of the healing is not sticking, because we're looking external for what can only take place internal. Hear me, please. So I want to encourage you as an adult, please do it for yourself, and do it to yourself, and do it with yourself, and do it through yourself first, and then pass it on to your children and your nephews, nieces. It's very important. I've worked with so many people over the years, and one of the main ingredients was they didn't have, or they lost, or whatever, self-love. Or they didn't even know what it was all about. So I'm a firm believer that I'm talking about 45 years of experience. I'm not talking about just getting on a podcast, trying to get no clickbait, trying to get no likes. I've been in the trenches before Facebook. I was in the trenches before Instagram. I was in the trenches before podcasting. Looking people in the eyes, working with them. Dealing with children, adolescents, and geriatrics. It's all about spirit. When you got a damaged spirit and you don't like who you are, that's a fragile place to be. Parents, start with yourself first. How excited are you about that man and woman you see in the mirror? Do you really love that man and woman you see in the mirror before you can pass it on to your children? How do you deal with yourself when you're sad? How do you deal with yourself when you're angry? How do you deal with yourself when you got great self-doubt? Where's your self-love level at that point? How do you deal with that? What's your coping mechanism? Because you can't teach nothing you never tasted. And that's another thing that's going on. You got a lot of people trying to teach something they never tasted, which means they're teaching lies. Nothing takes the place of self-experience. Nothing takes the place of self-experience. But parents, adolescents, everybody who hear my message, who understands this, you got to digest some self-love. Because when you love yourself, you will strive not to hurt yourself, therefore you will strive not to hurt others. But if you don't love yourself, you're going to hurt yourself and you will also strive to hurt others. It's evidence-based. Teach your children, parents, so they can teach their children. You're losing too many youth to jails, hospitals, and cemeteries. Say that again, because we are losing too many youth to jails, hospitals, and cemeteries. And then when a person done something diabolical, you want to jump and hoop and holler and shout. For what? For what? We got to become more proactive. If you change nothing, nothing changes. Sometimes we are carrying on years of traditions that it's traditions. It's hollow. It has no substance at all. It just sounds good. Ain't nothing changed. It just sounds good. I was telling a young man yesterday, we've heard this verse before. A change is going to come. Well, a change come here when you make the change. You can't just keep talking about a change is going to come. Make the change. Excuse me, make the change. What are you doing to make the change? Stop getting caught up on long pieces of verbiage that has no substance at all. We got to do more than sing, pray, shout, hoop, and holler. That's not working. Ain't nobody coming to save you because you're already here. Please forgive me. Excuse me. We're losing too many people, ladies and gentlemen. So many people talking now and they saying nothing. Wake up, my people. Wake up.